I've always been passionate about bags. I would literally levitate at 2 a.m., get my iPad out, and just start designing the bag I dreamed of in my head. I wouldn't let it go. I was not gonna let it be a passing thought. I started drawing instantly. Hey guys, my name is Dami and I created this video to introduce myself and this page. So just a little bit about me. Well, this whole video is about me. So I recently graduated from the University of Maryland, where I studied economics and technology and information design. Throughout that experience, I did tie my identity to going down the corporate route because I didn't really see another way for myself, nor have I given it enough thought until maybe over a year ago. So to start with my journey to understand where I am now, I started off thinking I would go into med school because I was always passionate about helping around the house, helping my siblings when they were sick or injured. So I thought that could translate into going into medicine, but it is not. It is not. Because you care for family and you want to help people who are hurt, that's a normal reaction. That's just being human. But personally for me, it was not enough to go down the whole medicine route. That was a very brief stint. Then I became an econ major because my first school actually was Towson University, and I owe so much to that university. They gave me so much. Give them their props, okay? I had other issues there. But their education, I loved. Those professors care about you. And through that, I got really good at econ because usually sometimes at bigger schools, they try to use those econ intro classes as weed out classes, but there it's like they wanted you to learn. I loved every second of it. So when I took that on, I also became a digital studies double major with econ. And through that, I took a lot of creative art classes because I've always had a creative side, but I've never fully had the confidence to go into it because it's scary to choose something that people would try to always say, you won't make money that way, or starving artist, or this and that. And I let other people's opinions get to me too much. I'm now at the point where I don't care. I don't care. I don't care for the opinions. I'm going to do what I want, but I did start out that way. So if you relate to that, maybe you'll find this interesting. So when I was an econ and digital studies major, I thought that digital studies was a way that I could explore my creative field, while econ was a stable, predictable route. And again, just give my younger self some grace. I was just doing what I thought was best at the time. And because of that, I thought I would go down the consulting route. Like, anyone who's not fully sure what they want to do in life does. No shade. It's tough. It's honestly tough. Consulting, they have long hours that no one talks about, but that's another thing. However, I was going down the consulting route, and then I transferred to the University of Maryland after my first year, and I became an econ major there. And I eventually, maybe a few months into being there, I added technology and information design, which was a new major. So I got really lucky with that because that major was about product design, UX design. I was discovering this new field that felt like I could apply my design and my passion for art in a technical manner that does have a really nice salary. I don't know if you guys know this, but UX design gives you can get like 100K plus starting out. Yes, starting out. So it was a very cushiony, fun, beautiful job that I was interested in for some time. And I remember junior year, I almost was flip-flopping between consulting and UX because I would do an internship for consulting, and then I had a UX design internship after my sophomore year. So I had a lot of experiences for both. And I think also, as realistic as I was trying to be, I was trying to see what offers I was getting. In the junior year, I received a consulting offer from Accenture, and that was very tempting because it was one of the first offers I received. And I was thinking maybe I go consulting, maybe I go back. But then I received a few offers for UX design and also final round interviews that I never fully went forward with because I received an offer from Amazon and Adobe. And at the time I chose Adobe and I had a phenomenal summer. I did also get offers for final rounds for Microsoft, Google, I believe Capital One. No, those are the ones I can confidently say. I don't know if the other companies I've had were final rounds or just like a round, but those were all final round offers. I did end up canceling a few of them because I was really happy with Adobe. I thought, oh my gosh, I hit the center, I hit the Pentagon. Like, I hit the Pentagon for design. How cool is that? So I was super excited. And that summer I was in SF. It was right after my junior year and I loved it. I loved just being around so many people so passionate about what they do. I was on a really cool team working on solving new problems. I had the freedom to even define my own my own project, which is so cool. I will always hold UX in my heart. I feel very passionate about it. It's really fun, especially in a digital age where we have products for everything. It's amazing. In fall of my senior year, I studied abroad in Madrid. And yes, I am one of the people that will say study abroad will change you. I know, it's annoying because they always say it. And I was like, I'll never say that. I do. I fully believe that going abroad is an amazing opportunity. It opens you up. It opens up your worldview. I was able to travel to so many countries for cheap. For cheap, first of all. And also just see how people's way of life are. And if you're interested in that, I'll probably make a video about that and my experience and time there, because I really do think that's when the seeds of starting my own business started to happen. Because I was surrounded by so many diverse people. I was surrounded by beautiful architecture. Because also another thing was I feel like I was able to fully express myself there more so than I did back at university, because I always tried to dress up every day to class. That's something I would always do. But people at UMD, unless they're kind of like artsy, they don't really dress up respectfully. And that's okay. That is okay. But there, obviously, I'm living in a city, so not everyone's studying. So I felt more able to be myself, express myself in my fashion, what I wear, what I carry with me. And I loved that. So that was a time where I just felt like I was unleashing a lot of creativity, and I would always kind of come back home, try to scrapbook, and really try to take in the moments. It was beautiful. I recommend journaling and scrapbooking to anyone who goes on any life-changing experience. Also, just do it in your regular day. You'll start to appreciate little things more and more, like going to cafes with your friends, trying a new drink. All of those are really beautiful experiences that you're gonna wanna look back on one day and think, wow, I did that. But yeah, so that was my study abroad experience. During that time, the seeds for my brand, like I said, were coming. And I just remember, because bags, I might not fully get into it. I might create another video for that, but I've always been passionate about bags, especially when I was so sure that I was gonna get my big girl money. I was like, what bag are we getting now? I was excited, but I didn't quite find my style reflected in what I was seeing in the market. So that's kind of one shit in the jar. And then another one was just kind of the sense of permanence I wanted bags to have, especially after I don't really get things handed down to me. However, shortly before my grandma passed, she did give me 2 of her bags. And I thought, oh my God, let me put a glass case around both of them. Let me put them on a shelf. Let me not touch them. This is a treasure, and I won't touch it. I left it in my closet on some rungs, didn't touch. I tried to clean out my closet for the summer before I went abroad, so it wouldn't be too messy when I come back. I moved one of those handbags. It was faux leather, I realized in that moment, because the bottom had fully peeled off and melded into the metal. That is a possibility with Fox leather bags, especially if they're old. And I was just so devastated. I was so devastated, because one thing about me is I love, whether you do or don't, personally for me, I love attaching sentiment to things. I think it's so beautiful. That's why I love getting my sisters necklaces, bracelets, sometimes rings, or random journals, just for them to kind of almost feel like they have a touch of me with whatever they do, just to, because I want them to feel loved. And sometimes gift giving is a way for me to show love. So, and also I just want things to have a sense of permanence. So that's why sometimes this is like a solid gold necklace. I haven't fully gotten there, but like some of the bracelets and watches I wear, they don't tarnish because I like things lasting a long time. I like having things for a long time to maybe pass down to my kids. That's so beautiful to me. So again, another shit in the jar, along with many others. So while I was abroad, I just had a stroke of inspiration for some bags. And it was the point where I was waking up in the middle of the night to just start designing. I would literally levitate at 2 a.m., get my iPad out, and just start designing the bag I dreamed of in my head. I wouldn't let it go. I was not gonna let it be a passing thought. I started drawing instantly. And I don't think I could have let those designs go. They were in my mind. They were not going anywhere. And so for weeks I was like that. And then when I came back to the US, I was so excited because I was like, I have something. Like I can always do UX on the side, but I have an idea for this. I'm so passionate. So I talked to my parents, and I started talking to my mom first. I was a little too nervous to tell my dad. And they're both entrepreneurs. I don't know why I was nervous. I should have known. But they're both traditional entrepreneurs. And I kind of always let notions of being an artist or more creative things fall away because it didn't sound solid enough. There's a different type of freedom that you feel when you know that sometimes your loved ones support you. And that, again, did wonders for me. So I spent a lot of spring semester working on securing all the legal documents. I won't lie. Some of it was very preemptive because a lot of these things you really don't have to worry about till later, but I did. So I spent a lot of that. My spring semester was stressful. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Econ has been the bane of my existence. The bane, it said, I'm going to feel it. My last semester, I was gonna feel it. That's what that major said to me. But then I did graduate. And also another thing to kind of add to how I got here was the fact that throughout my time at UMD, I was a member of Startup Shell, which is a student-led startup incubator on campus. And for some time, I did serve on board as director of events. And I did other roles like, co-design lead. And because I was immersed in this environment of entrepreneurs, I had this renewed vigor. At first, I was just really happy to do UX design for their websites. That was enough for me. I was like, let me design your website. Let me give you a logo. Let me do a little spice, little side money job. But then I just started to realize that I really was one of them because I was starting to have an idea of my own. And again, I highly recommend, if I can give my first piece of advice, if you go to college, please try to find spaces that can serve you. Whether it's Women in Business, which I did, or if you have your own startup incubator on campus, go, because you'll be able to meet with so many like-minded people. You'll have resources available for you. I cannot recommend enough. Anyways, so that was another thing. I was receiving support from that while I was kind of going on this journey, because I would ask my friends, oh, what software do you use to this? How do you how did you secure your LLC? Little things like this. And sometimes you don't realize that people really are doing a lot in the background for their businesses that you don't always know about. And of course, granted, these were a lot of tech startups. However, they had so much transferable advice. So I loved it. And also, it was 24/7 access. So if you go to UMD and you're interested, you should apply. And I truly think it made my time at UMD. I cannot give that school any other credit. Startup Shell has all my love. Anyways, so I've been thinking, okay, I'm gonna work on this. This is my business idea. I have something. I was so excited to graduate. However, graduating is another thing. Being post-grad and realizing that your schedule is clear and as busy as you want to make it is so scary. And that's what people don't talk about enough. It is so scary. Oh my God. So many negative thoughts that can try to worm their way into your brain, and you cannot let them get there. You need to kick them out. You need to slam the door on them, because I think I got a lot of scary thoughts because it is scary. I was really at first I was going down a predictable path of UX design, which makes like 100K entry level base at the big companies. You can still make a hefty sum at other companies, but at big tech companies, you could start out that way. So in case you're interested, think about it. But I was going from that predictability of knowing how much money was in that to choosing something that, I mean, I haven't started selling anything, so there is no proof of purchase, and that's scary. And also, you need capital for things like this. So, and the biggest thing that I had was I was using the capital, I was using grad money, I was using the money I saved from my internship and everything to get me started. But it's very scary. And I can only say, and also, I don't know why, but I felt so selfish for thinking of starting a business given all that's going on in the economy. And I don't know why I wouldn't have felt as selfish if I went down the corporate route. But I truly think that anyone, regardless of your idea, you deserve to give it a chance. You deserve to give it respect and love, to understand that you have inherent value. And that's something I still tell myself to this day. It is so important. And I realize when it comes to crafting a schedule, I need to be very disciplined about that. Like, I need to have a clean room, my desk needs to be clear, I need to plan my movements. And some of the best tips I have for creating order, whether you're post-grad, still searching for a job, whether you have a job lined up that hasn't started yet, or maybe you're going down the entrepreneurship route and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm saying route, I say route usually, but I'm saying route right now, I don't know. That needs to be studied. Anyways, I really recommend breaking your life in quarters, thinking what goals do you want to achieve at the end of Q2, Q3, because that's what I've done. I created a Notion template for myself, just basically thinking what goals do I want to achieve after the third quarter, the fourth quarter, because you just break up the year in 4 months each and work in those sprints. Kind of, that's how businesses operate. They work in those quarters. And that's why I also value working at it, having an internship at a really large business, because you see how a large company operates on a really large scale. So that almost kind of gives you tips and advice on how to operate on a smaller scale and how to make sure you start organized so you don't have to run the risk of being disorganized or not having the best communication internally, especially when I think about expansion and growth. Because again, also, yeah, it's important to just dream big. Also, vision board. So first, think of your life in quarters and put the goals you want to achieve. Break them down, have overly year goals, and then break those down into smaller ones that you think you can achieve in a few months, here and there. Second, I highly recommend creating a vision board if you haven't already. Whether I have a vision board for the year, I created a vision board for last year. I accomplished everything on that vision board. Every single thing. Do you know how crazy that is to say? Every single thing on that vision board, I accomplished. I didn't even think I was studying abroad the first few months of the year, last year, but I thought, I really want to travel. I need to make sure I want to update my passport. I want to travel. I want to go on train rides. And I thought the train ride experience would be an SF, but then I applied in the middle of last spring and I got into abroad. Again, it literally, study abroad was not a thought in my mind until maybe February or March of 2024. I did not plan for that, and I ended up smashing a lot of those goals. I even wanted to give a talk. I did give a talk at Shell. I couldn't have predicted that. And it's all those little things. You'll start to realize that your dreams will come into fruition one way or another. Might not be necessarily how you imagined it, but to some degree it will. So I am a big proponent on creating vision boards. I even create vision boards for my brand, or mood boards for what kind of aesthetic I want it to have, what kind of feeling do I want people to feel when they open up a box and realize they have their own bag? What kind of things do I want to add to it? All of that's so important. And if you're not a visual person, again, just writing down your goals, your dreams are so important. And one thing my mom taught me is to do I am statements. It's important to wake up and be like, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am blessed. All of those, and keep going around, keep going around, keep going around. Because you might think they're silly to say, and I used to think, Mom, like, why are you always saying that? Sometimes she would just like text a long chain in the family group chat of I ams, and she'd want us to recite them. And I see it now because you will continuously have to work on your confidence, because you do not want anyone to try to knock it down. You want to have some unshakable faith in yourself. And those things really helped me and gave me clarity. Also, I think kind of just being mindful of what fun things do I want to do? What do I want to do to enrich myself in my friendships, in my social activities, and going outside and just touching grass, going out into nature, going to parks, museums, the free things too. But yeah, I realized being post-grad, there is no one to hold my hand. I have to create that sense of direction for myself, and that can be kind of scary. However, I am taking steps slowly but surely to getting to where I want to be in life. And one of these steps is creating this YouTube channel so you guys can get to know me, to know my business and my brands, to know my journey. I really want to talk about the learnings I experienced as a first-time business owner, what I found to be true, like my career path, how that's impacted me if you're in college, how to figure out what's for you, and how it's okay to try multiple things, how I got my internships, even some things as little as get ready with me's, because I love watching those videos. I love them. And then also just kind of daily routines, how I create structure in my day now that I really do own my 24 hours. And also, how do I juggle being a business owner and a writer? Because I don't think I covered it, but another one of my long-standing goals is I really want to be a writer and an author one day. I want to publish my book series. I've already written a few chapters, worked on character development. Of course, it's fantasy. I love the world building of Red Rising, Lord of the Rings. It's also beautiful, so I would love to work on that too. And at the same time, try anything else. I'm giving myself like a year to just try my interests without feeling any shame, embarrassment, feeling like I'm behind the curve. And I will say, again, stepping away from, I guess, the identity that can come with being in a big tech company. I would go to mixers with Uber, LinkedIn, Visa, and I would talk to really important people. And a part of my identity did become saying that I'm a UX designer at Adobe, and it felt good. It felt really good. And I think, again, I'll always be open to going back into tech potentially in the future, but at the same time, right now my mindset is currently I don't have any major commitments. I just graduated. I owe it to myself. I think anyone owes it to themselves to fully try their passions without shame. And because I have so many future letters to myself, I truly want to make my younger self proud by ensuring all of those things are true, no matter how hard the journey is. And I'm really trying to fall in love with the journey, the process, because I want to love every moment of life. Just be open to the world, keep exploring, keep learning different cultures, different people, meeting people. I love socializing and all of that. So again, if you're interested in my story, what I have to say, any learning tidbits, how I work on continuous education, how my business is going, how writing is going, how I give myself structure every day, please subscribe and follow along, because I'm excited to take you as well as hear your stories. So goodbye for now.